Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good evening everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessToTrade.com weekend update show. Hope everybody is doing well. It's about 8 o'clock Saturday evening, and you're probably wondering, why is this lame old geezer recording on Saturday night at 8 o'clock? Well, there's a story for that as well. Tomorrow my son is graduating from high school, and it just dawned on me I will have no time tomorrow with the whole day basically booked, 2-hour ceremony, and then you have a reception after, and then we have dinner reservations after. So I figure, hey, might as well, I'm not doing anything right now. It's pouring rain right now, torrential thunderstorms. So I said, listen, I got 15 minutes of doing absolutely nothing. Might as well get my point across. So hopefully if you guys like the content, click that like button. Hopefully, again, I could point you in the right direction. So what's the common denominator here, right? What's the, what are we thinking, right? What's the average investor? What's the average trader thinking? Everybody knows what happened on Friday. Okay. NASDAQ down 5%. I don't remember the last time I saw the Qs down 40 points in a single day. I'm sure if I dig around, I could find it. But keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. We've had a twice in a lifetime generational rally, right? That extended longer, ferociously longer than anybody could have even remotely predicted, right? Without taking a break. And 2 weeks ago, we started talking about, hey guys, we kind of went through this already, right? We kind of went through this already. You kind of know how it's going to end. Just be careful. Anything that's overextended, just leave alone, right? Leave alone. Stop chasing these stocks that are up 20, 30, 40%, whatever it is. And, just stick to the ones that are coming off the bottom of the channel. Pretty much every video, probably in the last 2-3 weeks, you heard me saying the same thing. If you go back to Wednesday's video, you kind of had clues that this was start to unravel. If you go back to just literally the previous video, we talked about, Vago had numbers, CrowdStrike had numbers. They sold them off both after phenomenal run-ups. You already saw, we talked about Amazon, we talked about PLTR, the previous night's video. We talked about NVIDIA, right? We talked about Tesla. We talked about all these stocks that just stopped rallying, right? All these companies that are deemed leaders of the market. And the question was, how long, right? How long can these semiconductors, how long can these, can these memory names just keep on holding up the market? And, the views on the previous night video didn't even get cold yet until we had just an absolute destruction of equity prices on Friday. Now, again, here's where I want to take a step back. Now that I made that shocking social media statement, guys, I want to make this pretty clear, right? A lot of you guys are brand new traders. All you're trying to do is develop a following, and you love the clickbaits and you love the shocking statements. And all I kept on hearing was the market's crashing, the market's crashing. Guys, the NASDAQ was up 40% in 2 months. On what planet is a 5% move after a 40% run up a crash? Right? I get it. You want the clicks, you want the likes. I get it. But folks, there's a lot of impressionable people looking up to quote unquote social media influencers. You're using the word crash, it's an emotional charge. We're up 40% in 2 months. How could it be deemed a crash if we give back 5? Right? Just think about it. There's some levels of responsibility, right? There are people that look up to people. You can't put a charge, you can't put a battery in their back and trying to change a narrative that it's not. Is it possible we have more selling come next week? Of course, right? Of course, that's on the table. We've been talking about this for the last 2-3 weeks. Once there is a domino effect, of course, it might start something much more aggressive. The candle on Friday was exactly that we talked about for the last couple of weeks. Remember the last couple of weeks, all I've been saying is, guys, make sure you leave these overextended stocks alone. The last thing you want to do is give back 1 month, 6 months, whatever it is, 6 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 days worth of performance in one candle. And that's literally what happened. One candle took out the last 12 days of buying. One candle, folks. And the craziest part about it is, again, from the kind of like the social media aspect, people are talking about this quote unquote crash. And all I kept on thinking of was, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't get it, right? If the market rallied the last 2 months, why are you talking about a market that crashed? What was your first entry? Thursday night? Right? So if you're an investor, it doesn't make sense to me why you're using the word, oh my God, I can't believe it. What can't you believe? If you caught a 2-month run up, right? All it was is, a rug pull for a 5% move down. Yes, do I believe we can get further prices to the downside? Like I said a couple of minutes ago, 100%. But, take a deep breath. If you're an investor of the stock market, take a deep breath. You got a godlike run for the last 2 months. All this was a flesh wound. So if you owned Micron, right? If you owned Micron as of March 30th, right? Of March 30th, and I would have told you, hey, by the way, on June the 6th, Micron would have gone from $300 to $864. Would you be freaking out because the stock went from $1,100 to $864? Probably not, right? So if you're an investor, take a deep breath, right? Take a deep breath. You got a twice in a lifetime move in 2 months. If that is the final stage of that rally, the stage of that interval, be blessed, right? Be blessed. You don't need to ride it all the way back down. Okay. Who's to say it's going to go all the way back down, right? More selling possible, but all the way back down, probably not. But the point is, you got a gift. You got a gift from the market gods. So instead of looking at Friday's action as glass half empty, you should be looking at this whole interval for the last 2 months as glass half full. So take a deep breath, reevaluate your portfolio. The last thing you want to do is continue to sit there. If we do have more aggressive selling, the last thing you want to do is sit there and just kind of start giving pretty much half of your performance back, 2/3 of your performance back. It's very possible we do come in. It's not going to come in on a straight line, but be very, very wary. It's time. Time to take chips off the table for the last 2-3 weeks. And now you have to put on your big boy, your big girl pants, and you have to make a decision. What do I want to do with the rest of my portfolio? You don't want to obviously panic out of anything because of Friday's activity. But now that the flesh wound, right? And again, 5% in 1 day sounds like a lot, but if you have a 40% run up in 2 months, it's not as much as you think. But now that you have your first flesh wound, okay, now you got to say to yourself, well, I didn't make a sales into strength. I listen to Dan speak all the time. And the one thing that I hate to say myself in the third person, I always say, sell when you want to, sell when you have to. Sell when you want to, don't sell when you have to. Well, now you're kind of in a situation, well, we're not kind of selling where we have to yet, but we're definitely not selling where we want to yet either. So going into this week, if you are an investor of the stock market, over the weekend, look over your holdings. If you have a big run-up, big performance in your, especially technology space, semiconductor, memory names, make a decision, right? Make a decision come Monday, Tuesday, and live with that decision. If the market bounces, we go back to all-time highs. You made a feasible decision. You rendered a feasibility study. You looked at it, the pros and the cons, and you made a decision. If you are along from anywhere in the last 3-4 days, well, yes, you're underwater, right? But that was the whole point. Don't look at the stocks on the 25th floor. Look at the stocks coming off the first floor. And we've had so many great opportunities for run-ups in the last 3-4 weeks, just stocks coming off the bottom. So let's talk about some charts, right? Number one, Friday after the close, Marvell was added to the S&P 500. As you can see, obviously had a big move down, had a big move up, spiked after the close, but at the end of the day, it still closed down 40 points on the day. I personally don't think an addition to the S&P 500, especially if there is going to be more macro selling in the general market, is going to make a big deal. So if you are chasing this headline, be very aware. Again, chasing headlines is great in euphoria, not when you have a 5% move. And when you look at, if you look at these stocks from top to bottom, I mean, pretty aggressive selling. Again, Q's down nearly 6%. And then you had the storage names, Micron. Micron down 14%. You have Marvel down 14%. SanDisk down 13%. Qualcomm, AMD, Oracle, CRWV, Avaya. I mean, everything was down between 5 and like 15%. So it was, again, it was a very, very aggressive sell-off. The question is, what happens to, Monday? Here's kind of how I'm approaching it, right? I wouldn't mind more selling just because there wasn't a great general panic level coming in on Monday. Again, when you're a seller of stocks, when you're shorting these stocks, you want to see complete, not, I don't want to use the word capitulation because that's the end of the cycle, but you want to see much more aggressive put buying come in. The aggressive put buyers were coming in a little bit towards the afternoon when it started accelerating a little bit more. What I would like to see from the value point of view on the Qs is a gap up on Monday, right? I'd like to see a gap up, because if that gap up doesn't hold, right? If that gap up doesn't hold and we start losing Friday's channels, you can see we have a lot of room. Still, guys, we're still 50, 60 points away from the 50-day moving average. So as you can see, we have a lot of room for potential to the downside. If we open up lower, is there a chance we have a dead cat bounce? I think if we get a dead cat bounce, it's going to be a very dangerous day, just because of how much technical damage we put in on Friday. From the trading aspect, right? I'm not speaking from the investment point of view, but from the trading aspect, I think our value is if we could get a gap up and stocks start losing Friday's channel, I think we could potentially get some aggressive moves down. So let's talk about some technical channels, right? Let's talk about some technical channels. We talked about Amazon on Wednesday's video, losing the 50-day moving average. This is now the first close below the 50-day moving average. PLTR, again, we highlighted Wednesday. First close, we needed to see a first close below the 50-day moving average. We got our first close below the 50-day moving average, right? You see what I'm saying? Tesla, okay? Tesla looks awful. I mean, awful. I get the retail public is fueling their jets and buying their 9 shares of allocation of the SpaceX IPO, but first close below the 50-day moving average. This thing couldn't rally into the SpaceX IPO that debuts on the 12th. If Tesla loses Friday's channel, guys, look how much room you have. You have a lot of room down, right? You have a lot of room down. Obviously, the gravity trade will continue. You have Micron. Obviously, you have SanDisk. I mean, it's pretty much every technology name. I don't need to pretty much go into every single technology name. You have every single technology name setting up this week for a potential second wave of selling. Barring any historic news coming out over the weekend, it's gonna be a little touch and go for the long bias case going into this week. So again, I think the value is the continued selling. Okay, the last thing I want to see on Monday is a half-ass dead cat bounce. Okay, because a dead cat bounce, there is no safety net. Again, you could play it off as well. I'm going to enter the trade and use Friday's low as my out. Yeah, I guess you could do that, but there's no edge there. It's just a bounce, and some bounces last for 15 minutes. Some bounces last for 3 days. So you got to be very, very wary of that. Yeah, of course, that's a very basic strategy, buying something that you like using Friday's low as your out. Sure. Instead of that, I will be looking and sitting patiently waiting for, if anything goes red and starts losing Friday's lows, I will be a seller of those stocks. Other than that, guys, I hope everyone is doing well. I hope your life is playing out the way you want. If not, get to work. Get to work. Social media is there for fun. It's not there to enlighten you. It's not there to make you whole. It's not there to put you in a situation of entitlement. Get your ass to work, whatever field you're in. Doctor, lawyer, trader, bowler, right? whatever you are, man, get to work. But the most important part is if you put the man hours in and you give it all you got, at least you have a capability, at least you have an opportunity to live your life on your terms. Guys, God bless everybody. Have a great remainder of your weekend. And let's see what we got on Monday, right? Let's see what we got on Monday. God bless, and hopefully I'll see you all in the field.